I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Start out with the guy in public comment.
Thanks, Kurt. My name is Donna Graham. I want to apologize for the confusion that happened in the postings that I put on a couple of Facebooks for the petition for solar and wind to restore the zoning back into the counties that the state took away from us. I understand due to regulations that when Kurt thought he could have me bring the petition here tonight, that I could have you sign it if you were interested, but we can't. So if you've noticed, I did post my address over on North Shore Drive. You're welcome to come over when I'm there. I'll be there the rest of tonight and tomorrow morning, then I'll be back over the weekend. And I can set up any other times to come back, because the reason I'm here is because I noticed in this township there isn't anybody that's circulating the petition, and I'm very active in Clinton County where I live right now. So I just wanted to clarify that, and from my posting, if you guys were on Facebook and saw that, and so they understand that I will be in town, and if you're interested, I will have petitions where you can contact me, and I'll come to you.
Thanks, Tom. Anybody else?
Linda Horak. I realize spring has come early. Surprise, surprise. I've heard from my mother. I love my mom. That a few of the areas of the township need spiffing up, and so I would suggest that maybe a team of 2 or 3 people could get together and visit all the township sites. I'd be happy to volunteer my time, do inspection, or make notes of all the work that needs to be performed, urgent, not so urgent, maintenance, that kind of thing, so that they could get on a list somewhere and get taken care
Can I ask what you mean by sites?
of. Specifically, she was not happy with the cemetery. She went to visit Dad, and it was a little rough. But it's early. I mean, spring came really early.
Only
so.
March.
Can the place next to the wet spot still be done? Wasn't he interested in doing that?
He declined, and then at the very last second said, "Oh yeah, I changed my mind again." There was no way to write a grant in that period of time.
Roger.
I'd like to know, was the Crystal Fire Department out last night fighting a fire somewhere? About 5 o'clock?
You know, the truck went south of town here when we was at board review.
That was 5:30. And by 5 o'clock, it was already jumping the road on your property almost. And why did they allow them to burn out there in that monsoon wind without a burn permit and everything else? On a barn that you could have waited 2-3 months down the road, tear down. It ain't going nowhere. It could have took the woods, come across my place, and ended up over Mount Hope Road time, and you would have stopped it. I'd like to know why Carson was the only ones there. If Carson wouldn't have put it out, I'd been burned out. Because Crystal wasn't there wasn't a Crystal truck one there. I was out sitting there.
Mike might be here later, they're on a firefight now, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're on a
if they'll be here
firefight tonight, yeah.
Thank God.
I noticed on the agenda that under old unfinished business or new business, that garbage collection in the township is not present. So are you going to push on this endeavor to at least look into it or not?
I think we just working on it, or let's start working on it. Go to one pickup or whatever.
Can we at least put it on like unfinished business
Yeah.
or something so we can kind of track the progress?
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, anybody else? Roger.
Now this goes back in the old news. Did we ever find $1,000, and why did we spend all the money looking for it if we never found it?
No, we didn't.
There's a police report, Roger, you're welcome to read it.
Where is it?
I think you can call the county and get a copy.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
somebody,
there.
you had a copy.
You got a FOIA, the county or I think the Daily News you can FOIL too and get a,
Can't fly a private company.
what's that?
You can't fly a private company.
I think that's what they told us when they got done investigating, we could FOIL the police office or
Sheriff's office.
sheriff's office. Yeah.
But they're not a private company.
Oh, okay,
Not the newspaper.
that's the newspaper,
Okay, I'll try that.
okay. Anybody else? Okay, move on. I need a motion to approve the agenda and accept the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion, I would like to add, please. Under new business, I, the beach lease, and J, a roof logbook.
What was the last one?
Logbook for our roof.
We need, since we're changing now, we need to move, the CMS server up. We're gonna make it in between Chris's report, cause he's gotta leave, and then we'll let him talk before we do the rest of the reports. Any more changes? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. I need a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it, but I need to clarify, there's a bill on the bills report for the Daily News for $666, well, it does say Daily News, it says Junior, $669, and that check has been voided, and a new check was issued at $601. So just that change.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, Chris?
Yeah, last month we approved allowing our, Versity Blood Centers is going to start doing a blood drive out in our pandemic ready building twice a month. I don't have the dates and times yet, they're just setting that up. We approved the, I can't say it, AFSCME contract. We approved our materials management bylaws, and then had to, this month, we had to go back and change them because we found out that the terms, that the first terms the state requires us to be 5 years, so we have to go back and change those. And the early voting, we had 228 voters went through the early voting up there. Then this month, we just reclassified one of the people in district court to magistrate from just one of the clerk positions, because they needed somebody else to be able to do like warrants and stuff like that, or search warrants, that type of stuff, when they were both in court and stuff. Approved land use requests for Stan Old Fashioned Days to use our yard up there. We approved buying a Marine Patrol boat, and our Commission on Aging Director has resigned. He's going to be moving to another job, so I'm on a committee now starting Monday. We're gonna start going through applications and start the hiring process for that.
What is the salary for the position?
I think it's 62 to 70 something, right, range, you remember?
55, I think, is starting.
Something in that range, yeah. One other thing, the marijuana tax, we just got notified, we're gonna be receiving that, and the county's gonna receive $413,000 from that. So, that's a pretty good chunk of money. That's about all I've got.
Anybody got any questions for the commissioner?
What was that about the marine boat, Chris?
We approved buying a new, the Marine Patrol boat, not the one that's on the lake here, but the one they take all over.
Okay.
It's old enough, they were trying to get parts for it last fall, and they can't even find parts for it now, and so.
Because we put so much money into this one, and it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, no, I asked that question, I said, that's nothing to do with the crystal boat, right? And they said, no, that's,
We already did that motor on that boat.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you keep the motor though?
No, it's
Pardon
not
me?
a different boat. It's
No.
a different boat.
Yeah,
It's
so I
a
can speak a little bit
different
into that. So we have two boats. We have a crystal boat and then we have a second boat, that's our dive boat. They were both pretty much junked
So now we're all good now, for like, the next like 20 years. So that's how long it, that's how
Yeah,
long
I
it worked.
think they told us what, I can't remember, yeah,
Yeah,
over 20 years old, I believe.
they were very old.
Don't you have jet skis too?
No. That'd be nice too. I'll write that down.
We used to.
Anything else?
Thank you, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Okay, now we're gonna go to CMS to talk about the server.
Sure. Did you have specific questions about the server, or I understand the quote was presented and then there was some questions about the cost of the new server?
Not just the cost, I have a boatload of questions.
Okay,
Shoot right at it.
Well, we'll start with where the placement is. Is that for a security reason? Because being in that closet with all the dust around it, like, we wouldn't keep our personal server like that.
Yes, it's put in that location for security, and it's been in that location since the server was brought to this location. Servers, as long as you maintain them and clean them out regularly, then, I mean, we have servers that live in manufacturing environments and handle it just fine. So a little bit of dirt isn't gonna hurt a server as long as, we're doing our yearly cleanouts.
How about the airflow with being closed?
We monitor the temperatures.
Okay.
Yeah, so we get alerts anytime there's any humidity issues or temperature issues, and it's just not present there.
All right. How much space will we have for storage in this new server?
So this server, depending on the RAID volume that they build, it's going to have about 2 terabytes. I'm not sure on what resources you're using now, but, so what we've done is taken and look at your existing server, and then we tend to take a hierarchical, a chronological look at all of the logs as to how quickly you're using up space now. Things are trending to use space actually kind of backwards these days because more things are moving into the cloud. So we look at how much space you've used over the past 5 years since that server's been put into place, and then our recommended time frame on a server is 5 years. So there's more than sufficient space on the new one. And disk space is cheap these days. It isn't like that's a large cost on the server itself, so.
How old is what is currently here?
That was purchased towards the last quarter of 2017, so it's already time. And the reason we were already going to propose a new quote for a new server just because of the age. And then some recent events, looking at your event logs, we had a server issue where it just randomly locked up about a month ago. We had to come here on site, and then it was determined at that time that things are starting to point towards bad hardware. So it's showing its age, and it's starting to, the urgency's there now.
Asking my fellow board members, do we know what we use the server for? Right, but do we realize that we could be utilizing that? This is an expensive piece of equipment, so all this information that gets log jammed in places that has no confidentiality should be on the server, and we should all be able to access it. And, if we've got this system that will support us doing that, we should be efficient and be utilizing it that way. And if we don't know how to use it, what kind of training could we get from Journey for all of us?
We can give you as much training as you'd like, but you'd be surprised as to how much you are using it in the background and you just don't realize it. So it's doing all of your permissions, your client access, it's doing your BSNA, your file shares, it's doing your network security, your internet routing, your email routing, all of that is actually being served currently. So if you think that you'd like to utilize file shares further, then certainly.
Well, yeah, and that's the point of, okay, we have not had a server, and we've had a server at our house. We're big into music, got a lot of files.
Mhm.
So that's why we have our own server. And I have a look at it of an individual, but in that, you can share those files, and we do that just regularly. So when I heard that, yes, we have a server here, and it's going down, and it's bad, and it's this, and we need that, we're not utilizing it the way we even utilize it at home. So looking at a price tag of $9,000, it's like, okay, if we're gonna have a price tag like this, we need to know how to use it.
I'm not so sure we ever have used file share. If we have, I have no idea about it.
Yeah, you have a mapped drive on your computer, correct?
I would have no idea.
Okay.
Help me out here,
So
Gary.
with our technicians would have set up your desktops to, most likely, their, things are mapped in the background as well, so that way if something happened to your desktop, we're not backing up your desktop, right?
Right.
We're backing up your server. So
Right.
files are already redirected into those shares,
Right.
whether you know it or not, in the event of failure on a desktop.
Yeah, I think I've probably got the wrong idea what a file share is, because I'm probably going one way with this. We were told by a representative of a company that's doing some work for us that, say if we have a grant, all that information on that grant should be on the server in a file where every member of the board can access it. And we've never had that.
Sure. Yeah,
And it's very frustrating because we don't know half the time what's going on with any of the grants right now.
I see. Yeah, that would be part of, some training or setting up some public file shares. It's not good practice to just give everybody access to everything, obviously.
Board members should have access, that's what I'm asking for.
Sure, but are there things that individual board members need to keep private as well?
Pretty much, I don't think we can do anything private here.
Okay, well, so yes, we can set it up however you'd like. Those types of design changes are just simple tickets with us, and then we can do the majority of that work remotely, but then, and then come on site and show you how to access those shares, or
Yeah,
how
or
you
even
could
how
start.
how someone would put them on there for us to access, because
Sure.
somebody's gotta be in charge of each part of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we would, kind of listen to you and come up with a file structure that suits your needs, and then we would set up restrictions and securities on those shares,
Right.
however you see fit, so.
Okay, makes sense, thank you.
Is all our storage currently on site or is it cloud backed up as well at this point?
Both,
It is both.
yes.
What about backup power? Power goes out, is there backup power or a safe shutdown mechanism so we don't ruin the lovely piece of equipment?
Yes, you currently have a battery backup in place.
Right. But it does have a safe shutdown of that server.
Correct.
Even if that fails, it will not 86 itself.
That's correct, and then we maintain your battery replacement cycles, so.
Or, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I've hit the major ones that I had: storage, placement, storage of backups, backup stuff, and server stuff, and some sort of training.
Yeah, if So just to reiterate, your contract with Journey is unlimited. So you have unlimited access to our technicians anytime you choose, whether, if it's us doing proactive maintenance and proactive things, which we're doing on your network now, we handle that as well as anything that you're gonna submit to us at a request. So I would just, you'd wanna submit some requests and we would honor those.
So we could set up a work day, just like David did the other day with folks in the DDA. It's a work session meeting, invite you guys to come, and we can all learn how to utilize it correctly.
Absolutely.
Got it right?
You bet.
Okay.
Done?
Any of you guys got questions? It's $9,000.
I know CMS has always been good when we have trouble. Helping Nancy and you that out.
I was just gonna ask you how often you're on your computer.
And I get
Yes, they
complaints
are,
from you.
yes, they are, very good.
Can I ask a question about the internet access throughout the building? I know that's probably a separate topic, but there were issues with being able to get internet in the gym area when we do certain events. Is that
I think
going to be?
That's been done.
That's been
Yep,
done.
a new AP's been on there, yeah.
You guys just gotta admit you're old to get to face it. Get a 10-year-old kid in here, he'll show you what.
That is true.
Any more questions?
I'm gonna ask a question, that's gonna relate to the money. Hap, are we at the point where we can ask for a reimbursement for that grant?
For the park grant?
Yes.
Yes, I was gonna do that after
Okay,
today's check goes through.
no problem. That was my main concern because we are,
Yep.
yeah, getting a large amount right now. So that will help the coffers. Any idea how long it takes them to reimburse us?
I don't, I've never done it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I tried to call treasurer today about the fireman's grant. Got a voicemail.
Got any more questions for CMS?
I don't. I just wanted to know where we have some money coming in, so.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
If you don't wanna stick around, you don't have to, don't.
Oh, I'll stick around for a few minutes.
Okay.
Unless I'm gonna interrupt you if I leave.
No, you don't interrupt us. Okay, that moves us down to the fire report, he's not here. DBW, they're, one's fighting a fire and one's the basketball.
And I gave you Mitch's one little page on the leaf.
Yeah, what is the plan? It says leaf removal, but that's only what the plan for.
They, they wanna try the bag deal.
I agree.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I think that's a great idea.
on down Colonel Point.
Well,
Right, right.
I have
you know,
trees in my front yard, so.
if we could
Keep the fire department on call.
find a vendor and then go to our local businesses and ask, this is the vendor you could use, will you sell them? That would let us not selling them
And we don't need to be exchanging money for random reasons
Right.
anyway, so
No, we-
let's, yeah.
yeah, I agree. That's my thought on that. I think it'd be a lot easier, wear and tear
Okay,
on the roads. Yep.
Lake improvement, Shirley?
Our meeting is April 8th. Coming up, we'll be here for 7 p.m.
April 8th?
Yep.
Yeah. Is it? Downtown development, Ann's gonna speak for Dave.
Yeah, my dad's not here tonight, so I'm the treasurer, so I'll do that update. So I don't have the details for the Winterfest, I think, Beth at my, that Dave White gives an update at the next meeting, but overall, it was well attended, craft fair did well, we did well in the, raffle. We're still doing some reconciliations with the ads, so he'll have the detailed report next meeting, if that's all right. We also, awarded a facade grant to the Marathon gas station, I gotta drop that check off tonight, just to give an update on that. We also, like Sarah said, we had a brainstorming session March 5th, and really preparing for our budget creation for 24-25, which we know we have to get to you in April. And so in talking about ideas and how we're gonna spend our money and planning. Some of the ideas that came up, I just thought I'd share. We're gonna redo our facade grant proposal, I think increase the amount, require a percentage of input from the property owners, business owners in a different way, give us a little bit more flexibility. Potentially, we were discussing continuing the street lights further down Main Street, maybe towards Blanchard's, or looking at the cost and the effort behind that. We thought that would be a nice investment into the downtown area. And third, we're working, of course, with the township and having different discussions about how to best support the park with the trash cans and the benches and the picnic pavilions and also potentially the bathroom facilities, which is a huge expense. So we were looking at different grant options, crowdfunding opportunities for that to help the township if they need that. So in that topic comes up the need to update our Parks and Rec plan, which I think everyone's been discussing in different ways. It expired at the end of '23. There are a number, I'm sure you're all aware, a number of really great grants that would cover large expenses for the park if we have an updated Park and Rec plan. Those are usually due in February 1st, and then the grants are due April 1st. So we've missed this year, which, you know, it's fine because we have a lot going on with the park still. But I'd like to prepare for that for next year, and if there's a way the DDA can help. So I would suggest potentially that the township assign a point of contact, a person on the board that could be the point person for updating that. And like I said, the DDA is more than willing to be assist in that in any way we can. How probably requires an RFP put out if we wanna hire somebody to do it, somebody better than we had last time. I understand that was a fail. But, there's a lot of good companies out there that we could potentially bid and work with. So, just a topic I wanted to raise. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Ann.
I want, as far as the DDA is asking for our federal ID number to research grants, and I want board approval.
They already use it at the banks.
Well, so I need,
They are interested, you know.
I wanted
but-
board approval to release that to the DDA.
I don't know why not, because quite frankly, that's why, all of, when the bank switched over to a new system, because it's all the same tax ID number, because whenever the DDA first opened a bank account, they used our tax ID number
Okay.
map.
I just know that
Whether
we're
that
supposed to not give it out, protect it like you do your social security number, so I just want board approval to do that.
And it's for a grant.
It allows us to go in and see what the requirements are for the application. So we would never go in and fill out the grant application on the township's behalf at all. But in the Mish Grant website, Nancy, in order for me to see kind of like what's required, you know, what kind of things we need, you gotta have that code in there.
Correct. And I would say that, you know, basically, the park grant, even though the DDA is very, very involved, ended up going through the township, so
And I think they have
pretty much interchangeable.
Well, yeah.
I don't think there's an issue
Right.
with her having it myself, anyone else?
I don't-
Motion by Nancy to give the DDA, got a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Elish, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Thank you.
What moves us down to the Montcalm Police Report, Officer Lance.
Alright, afternoon everyone. So, February was kind of, it was weird, we had a little bit of snow, but also some really nice weather. So a total of 30 traffic stops were conducted that month, 25 tickets were issued, 25 verbal warnings were issued after that. Notable events this month were the larceny of the trees of township property. That investigation completed. Warrant has been submitted to the prosecutor for review, so it's now moved on to the prosecutor to issue the warrant of arrest for the suspect on that. Other than that, we're still continuing investigations on junk and rubbish ordinances, pretty much all over the township. They just keep popping up whenever they're submitted to me, and I keep investigating. Major roads that they're on are South Monroe Road, over on East Moscow Road, and I think there's one on South Bollinger Road.
Minor, and minor.
I said South Monroe.
Moscow Road has went to court.
Yes, he did go to court, well, yeah, sorry, I forgot to write that down. So, East Muskrat, that did go to court, he was found guilty of it. He paid his fine and he was given a date from the court to either completely clean it up or he's gonna be issuing another citation, so that's where we're at with that one.
Thank you.
And then, notable events, other ones, on February 13th, there's a larceny report at the 1000 block of South Monroe Road. Victim reported a trailer parked there and was stolen sometime through the 12th or 13th of February. No suspects at this time. No footage showed review. February 20th, I attempted to stop a vehicle for a motor vehicle code violation. The driver fled my traffic stop. I pursued. The pursuit ended, the vehicle ended up crashing, and then since I already had the registration plate, I actually terminated the pursuit before the crash ensued. So I contacted the registry owner. The registry owner gave me the name of whoever was driving it. It was a 21-year-old man out of Belding. He was located February 24th and arrested. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Could I ask a police officer something?
Yeah.
Do you ever have anything to do with the Amish, the way they drive their buggies and that around? Because they just had another accident tonight. They run the stop signs, they don't obey no traffic laws. They ride their bicycles, ride right through 57, down by the Rusty Nail on Sunday morning, and right in front of traffic.
Sunday morning?
Sunday morning, after church.
Not working Sunday morning, but yes, Amish do have to abide by traffic laws, just like how regular bicycles and motor vehicles have to abide by them.
Because they're getting hit all the time, they don't even stop, so the horse don't know if it's gotta stop this time or not.
Yep.
It just goes right through the stop sign.
So the one that happened down there that just got hit today,
Yep.
yeah, so that truck swerved and hit them actually.
Yeah, but I live by the Amish all the time, and they just run the stop signs, they don't care, they run them with their tractors, they run them with everything.
Fenwick Road, they always run Senator Road or Vickeryville Road or Chipman Road, they always run the stop sign going on Fenwick
The
Road.
horse don't
They
wanna
always
stop.
hit them twice on
Okay.
going down there, that's, I just wanted to, you know.
I'd like to get in with the police.
Okay, we're moving on. We've done trustee report, sir.
All right, in the continuing education of myself and everyone else, we've gone through statutory duties, we've gone through non-statutory duties. We have heard that a fiduciary's duty is to perform oversight on every facet of this township for the people of the township. And in that, we are supposed to ask questions. Questions are not supposed to get people angry. Questions are supposed to help people find a solution. So, in that, I have been utilizing the webinars that we paid extra amount on MTA. Have we all been doing the webinars?
When I can, I should be able to now.
Exactly, and they're really helpful. And the one that I watched yesterday was Meeting Misconceptions. And it was about having your meetings, and Anna, you can take this back to your dad. The DDA meeting, we closed it out. And we closed it out with, let's adjourn, because there's another thing I want to talk about after. That is not supposed to be going down. It really isn't, because that is something that might come up again in a future meeting. So we might be in public, but when we adjourn the meeting, the policy discussions that are for now and for the future aren't supposed to happen. And into policies, we have a few to look at today, but a couple have fallen off the rails. And one that fell off the rails was the township-owned properties policy. Because in trying to get that policy going, that brought up more questions about the sewer that the attorney is being paid to figure out because it was worked on incorrectly in the past. That's just all there is to it. And it's gonna run up because that needs to be correct. It also brought up properties that we don't know we own. It brought up prior real estate transaction things. It brought up questions with how much are our facilities actually rented out? How much are they rented out to recurring people? How much are they rented out individually? What are the total hours that the total square feet are rented out in a year? We can work with those metrics. We're supposed to scrutinize. We're supposed to analyze. We are supposed to look at trends and what the future may hold for us. So to me, it is really important that all of us keep learning and keep working on things and mind our anger with one another when we're asking questions and don't understand. We all need to understand, and we all need to be on the same page to do our jobs effectively. And I'm not gonna apologize for that.
I don't think we should. We should be all working together, we should be delving into matters and going forward with what's gonna happen.
Done?
Can I make a comment on this one?
No, it's not public comment time.
Okay, we'll get it at the end then, sir.
I'm finished.
Okay, let's correspond 70 Adventists. They're renting a spot.
No, they're coming to town.
They're coming to town.
They're coming to town. And so I need to sign the form to send it back, so I want to make sure. And it says, we understand that your signature is not an endorsement of our project, but simply a recognition of our presence in your community.
Do you have to do this, Pat, do you know?
I don't know.
They come to town.
They're
It
coming to
says,
town June
Please
9th.
forward this to your local police sheriff's department.
Yeah,
June 9th or what?
August 14th, or 17th, excuse me.
Oh, they'll be here for a while, okay.
Does this mean they're gonna come knocking on
June,
the door?
July, August.
I would guess they probably need it to cover their insurance rider for being off-site on other people's property.
I don't know. Pat wonders if she has permission to sign it.
I move that Pat, you sign it.
I will second that.
Motion by Sarah, second by Lee, sign it.
Nothing we can do.
All all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, unfinished business, policy, cash handling.
Okay, that thing is nowhere near right or done, so I would like to, go over it and then get back to you on it, because I can't believe what's in there,
Okay,
okay?
that one off.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, it's kind of, there's a gap, because, we're talking about stuff, and then it goes to the attorney, and he's only talking to one person. So, because there are 5 of us, we all see things differently, and in that policy, I picked out one spot that I was like, wait a minute, this was not in what we wrote at all. And, now we're gonna spend another month and another how much money because we aren't communicating with them.
Yeah, see, I just sent him the policy for the draft that we had.
And yeah, that draft was, there was things, and I'm sorry, Pat, maybe I did not get my changes to you, I didn't even know that had gone in. So I apologize that, because I've got a lot of changes on that,
Okay.
it doesn't match what we do and how we do it, and how we're supposed to do it.
I'm pretty happy with the grant policy, what do you guys think?
Oh, there was something I was gonna bring up on that one, hang on. Okay. You know what, I'm gonna take that back, I am okay with this. My note, actually, what it said, I've actually read in here that it is in there what I wanted to happen, and we're good, I'm good with that.
Everybody good?
So I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution to establish the procedure for applying for and handling grants involving Twisted Township.
I'll second.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's keep up with number 7. I feel half the time I don't know what's going on with anything.
Motion by Patty, seconded by Sarah, to do the grant. You gotta do a roll call.
Yep, Sarah,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yep.
Pat, yes, Alicia? Yes.
Moves us down to the video policy.
The only thing in here is to choose how long. It's on the back, under the bullet point where images are, 30 or 45 days.
I think we should be 45 days. That's my opinion.
Can I make sure mine has that capability?
Yes, or
Okay.
how to get it over to.
I have no idea if it does.
It should in some way, you just need to find the right pathway.
Oh, if it don't, we can change it next month.
Okay, all right, okay.
Does anybody see anything else on here that
No.
sticks out as no?
I thought it looked good.
All right,
Motion for the video policy.
and to purchase a small sign that says under video surveillance.
Plus the sign.
I'll second it.
Sign.
Oh, sign.
Motion by Sarah, second by Patty, do the video policy plus purchase the sign. Roll call vote.
Alicia? Yes. Pat, yes, Kurt?
Yep.
Nancy?
Yeah,
Sarah?
Yes.
Venture policy.
I was kind of bummed because I highlighted stuff that we needed to change on this. This needs significant work. This is still not where it needs to be, and there was a lot of highlighting on it. And this brought up another issue. This issue that brought up, we were looking at general ledger numbers, and I'm not sure how we passed the budget or not, but the first time we ran into it was with office supplies and being all under governmental instead of in the office supply bank of each of the administrative offices, so you can't work it back if it's all in one block. So that we need to address in some way, shape, or form. And also, employee wages are all in one block. There's no way to work backwards on any of that.
For,
DPW, they're all in one kind of thing. There's no break, there are two.
two people are, yeah, salary.
Right, but it's all in one thing, so it's not, they're not separated two, they're two together,
So
right?
you want two line items, one for each person?
Yes, each person should have a line. Like subs, so they can be broken out, so you can look at, when do we need two people? When do we only need one person? When were people, looking for things to do? When did we need an extra person even? And if they're all together, we can't look at that. And it also will help with these GL numbers with this, because if those numbers exist, there's a nice slot for it to go into, then there's no mixy-matchy. And no trying to figure out, oh shit, when was that, and how did that happen,
One thing I was looking for, Pat, because this is from the county, and
Right.
so there's gonna be some numbers that are different, is we don't really have a good line item for conference hotels. So, if I have to, I'll get a hold of the state, or I'll go to Ally and say, okay, what should we have for a general ledger number for this? It's a necessary thing. And if we're going to bring up the budget, Kurt, I'd like to suggest we start having budget meetings. Okay, so that each
Start working
department
on
head can start working on it, I don't think, still nobody needs to turn them in any earlier, but let's start working on it. Okay? So, yeah,
Okay,
all right,
okay, we'll still work on that and the cash handling.
yes.
That's us down to B compactor, Nancy?
Well, it's been up and running a month today, it has not had to be switched out yet, although I would expect any time. I've looked at a few of the videos, and people aren't used to it yet, they're not sure what it is. I'll have a meeting next week with materials management, which used to be solid waste. See what's going on with any of the other ones in the county. And that's about all I have, and I think it's a good idea, we've not had 5 bins, 7 bins switched out every week for the last month. They're still there. So, that's about all I have.
Okay, that moves us down to the sewer department, the ag contract.
It's very comprehensive and lovely work.
Satisfy you?
This? Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Carl's contract?
Yes, is that what we're talking about?
No, maybe
This-
No,
closure.
he's
Oh,
talking about his disclosure.
yeah, I didn't even see that. I was talking about this big fat contract we got from the attorney that covers everything.
Says, but
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys an example here. Cow hay, big round bales, $50 a bale, off a 60-acre field. The first cutting of for sure 2 and maybe 3, this is by my buddy and neighbor, $14,200 is what that was equivalent to, and he was giving his buddy a deal at that. And that's on 60 acres. It was for 284 bales. So when I asked you, how many bales do you get? How do you know where'd you come up with this?
I'm just taking a wild guess for this year, that I won't know to the end of the year.
She was asking for what you did last year, is when she discussed what the value would be, is, okay, how many bales did you take off last year, is what she was asking, when she said that.
Is that what you wanna
I mean,
know?
that was,
That is what a
That's the way I-
pecuniary interest is.
Something already.
But do you read the whole thing on the preliminary? If it's under $5,000, I don't have to do it.
Right, but what I'm saying is, on a smaller field,
That was sewer irrigated, right? Are you comparing apples to apples?
Part of it I am, because not all of it's irrigated. And it looks great. I've
Well,
looked at it all
that's
last
Carl-
summer.
That's Carl's that's not irrigated.
You have fields that are unirrigated according to the contract, and this is your disclosure to do. Do I agree with this? No, I don't. But I'm just one vote.
Well, I can tell you. I spent $500 on my lawyer. He told me not to even sign the thing, but I'm trying to move forward. Like your lawyer told you, and my lawyer said, I've got it for
I don't have a lawyer.
the township lawyer, that I don't get involved with on this.
Attorney.
He says, I got it for 3 more years, no matter what. If you guys wanna take me to court, I guess I'd leave it up to that. If you wanna waste more money,
It's not wasting any money. It's your disclosure. The onus is on you. We have gotten our advice from the attorney that it was a conflict of interest. It's up to you to deal with it now. I don't think this is correct, but that's just my opinion.
Well, all I can say is he gave us a disclosure.
That's right. I mean, I,
Which is what we were looking for, a disclosure.
A complete and correct disclosure was what I was looking for.
I make a motion to accept the disclosure and move forward.
I would say that, what would we have to do if we did move forward? I don't think there's any recourse here, okay? We did the disclosure, even if we didn't accept it, what would be a recourse? So. That was the discussion portion.
right, I don't think there would really be any recourse.
I mean, you got any ideas?
got a motion right now, I guess you guys wanna.
I'm gonna second it.
Second what? Did you make a motion?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Pat
To
did.
accept the
Pat
disclosure.
did. Pat did.
Motion by Patty, second by Leash, to accept the disclosure. All in favor, I'll abstain my vote. All in favor, say aye.
I
All opposed,
Aye.
motion carried.
guess I'm gonna say at this point, we've accepted it, this is taxpayer money and taxpayer property. If taxpayers don't like it, they're gonna have to
Fix it at the
let
ballot
us
box.
know. Let us know.
Okay, that moves us down, the AED Mike gave us
There are two, and Mike's
There's a
advice
price on it.
was for the Striker Life Pack CR2 defibrillator, because it will be interchangeable with the leads that the EMS has.
Oh, okay.
So then they don't have to take stuff off and put stuff back on. It makes it easier for all of them.
That's the 21, 25, 50.
Yep.
5846, that's the striker.
I make a motion to accept the bid from Stryker for an AED amount of $2158.46.
I will second that, and then I have a discussion.
Okay, motion by Patty, seconded by Nancy to get the AED for 21, 25, 50.
Down for the shipping fee.
Oh, shipping at 21, 58, 46. Okay, discussion.
Do you guys want to start using some ARPA money for these things? I would say this one would definitely qualify.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, and the only thing I'm gonna say, that's fine, is because I was hoping that maybe we could use the ARPA money for the park grant to supplement, and the only thing I'm gonna say that is because it might be easier to do one big check, you know what I'm saying?
We got lots of checks for ARPA.
Right, but you know what I mean, as far as you reporting stuff, it might be easier
Yeah, I
to do
don't know.
one lump thing instead of two or three smaller ones.
I don't have
That's-
issues with that.
Okay, that's just my thought.
Yeah, reporting.
I know-
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
Reporting's not a
it's
big
not.
hard thing on that one.
And I understand that more than likely we will have to use a lot of the ARPA money on the park, and it is 100% usable that way. You know, there's $130,219.79 in there right now. We're getting about $25 a month in interest. Before we have to shell out more money, we'll get a little bit more interest. I think we could use this for ARPA, but that's just up to me, you know?
No, I think that's the right thing, it's for the community.
So I'll make my motion to approve that from the ARPA funds.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Seconded by Nancy, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Then we'll get with Mike and come up with maybe we can do
Training.
computer training and CPR training on the same day.
There we go.
Okay, it's down to the park project budget.
We did, we need to move some money into, because we just are generating a check for $367 for work that's been completed as of Tuesday. So we need to move some money from just the general to the park project, professional expenses. So I would make a motion that we move $266,000 from the general fund to the line item 296-801 professional services.
I'll second that.
Motion by Patty, seconded by Nancy, to move $266,000 of the general fund to the park project. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. That moves us down to the community center.
You added today, I know Nancy asked that to be on there, but then added today was an estimate for glass, windows down in, I'm gonna call it the wrestling room, just because there's a window that's all smashed down there, it's not.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
I think it was there last fall. It was
Well,
chip
Is that
painting.
right? Okay, never mind.
No.
Go ahead.
But, so there was an estimate, and I can't touch mine right now.
Do you wanna, I've got my.
Right
There's
here.
two of
I've got
them.
mine.
So one of them is for laminated glass, which means there's glass and then laminated in the middle and then glass. And that's the $1,000 one. Non-laminated tempered glass is $662.15.
You know why one has a fuel charge and one doesn't?
No.
Heavier.
Maybe.
Ones like your windshield's got plastic in it for brakes that don't break away.
And see what's there has it, like the window, the lowest window is totally shattered, but it's not through at all. And then up above it, there's, I'm gonna call it a bullet hole, but it's not all the way through either. So they're replacing actually like, so one whole panel right there, the large and the small.
Because their windows are like my windows.
Yeah,
Is there a
they're
difference?
like these, yours are the new one.
Yeah, you got the new one.
So it's
they're
one of
like
these,
the old
it's one of
jails
those
in
little panels right there that they have to replace the whole thing.
Well, since we don't know what we're doing with the community center, going for the more expensive one doesn't seem very prudent to me.
And do we need it, do we wanna fix it, do we just wanna board it up?
Okay, I'm gonna throw a fit if we don't keep this building up.
Yeah, we don't wanna board it.
Exactly.
Alright,
We got too many years that don't look
Okay.
good.
so motion to accept the,
$662.15.
Yes, please.
I'll second.
Motion by Patty, second by Sarah to get the windows fixed for $662.15.
And there's something you're gonna let me add to the community center, right?
Yeah.
Jennifer?
Let's finish this.
Are you done?
nope.
No,
sorry.
all in
What
favor,
else you
say
got?
aye.
Oh, yeah,
Aye.
okay.
Motion
Sorry,
carried.
Pat.
Okay.
And then there's the motion, the estimate from Wilson's, they came in, the bill that we paid to Wilson's was can't remember what it was, but that was, they cleaned the drains, they cleaned the drains, did all they needed. This is to replace the garbage disposal, so they can do, the higher prices for a commercial, bigger, you know, something like what's there. And then we would.
They didn't have, when they came, none of the drains were plugged.
What were they?
They were slow, a couple of them were just going slow. But they make the one plugged, I think it's because the garbage disposer didn't work. But that one that you see open underneath the sink,
Is that supposed to be there?
yes, he says that's
Why is
commercial, he
that?
says, that guy, he says if it ain't there, you can't rent the place out.
Okay,
I don't,
alright.
you know,
Sarah had a thought on probably what that could be.
it's for, I guess if it goes down too fast, it comes back and it goes down.
Okay.
But, they fixed most of the faucets. They had to get parts for a couple of them.
What are the faucet cartridges?
They go up
Guts of
in
the
there.
cartridge, guts of the valve,
Yeah.
the insides, replaceable.
Sometimes
What's it
they're
do?
filters the water.
So when you shut it off.
Shuts it off, so it don't drip.
Okay, I have no idea, okay. I would say no, we do not need a garbage disposal.
That's what I was gonna say,
At all.
why do
You
we
can't
have?
rent it out then, I don't think. Is that what?
But for
But
only,
it's not a
for,
commercial
It's not a
kitchen.
We're not a commercial kitchen.
but, to fix that faucet is what, 16? It's $200 more to fix that, to put a, new garbage disposer in.
Incinerators, what they're
Yeah.
calling it, yes.
And then also to hire the electrician to come in and, cause the
Right.
one we have is $220 and this one needs to be
My,
$110.
my problem with having that, and Linda, we can check on whether or not we can run it without a garbage disposal, but it hasn't been a garbage disposal working there since my mother died years ago. There's a sign that says it
I
doesn't
think I
work.
confused it with what
People
Chris said.
put things that should be down there and plug it out.
Silverware.
You just want to make it, hook it up
Make
to
it
a regular
regular
drain.
sink.
I can see the difference in the price, it's not that much more to
Right.
have one.
But I can see,
We're gonna keep calling a plumber to hook
And then
on
the
to.
other thing too is the
Yeah.
electrician, getting an electrician in here to switch it out, so you.
So the other one, we wouldn't need an electrician.
no, they take it out and convert it over to a
I
drain.
would like to make a motion to not have the garbage disposal, to go with proposal 2 for the 1593.
I'll second that.
And do you want that under ARPA too? And I know you don't want me to spend much ARPA, but
Might
that's
as well.
on this building.
I think it should be.
Okay.
Motion by Nancy, second by Pat to go to option 2.
Still got well over 100,000 left there.
Right.
And pay for it out of the
Spend all my
ARPA
money.
money. Okay, Nancy.
Okay. I'm gonna ask that we get a hold of somebody to regrade that dirt pile because the playground for Head Start is underwater, the grassy area. They need to do something so that that does not continue. And you know, when we had the open house for, the compactors, both Chris Johnston and Roger Rockburn from Granger took one look at that and he said, why are you gonna flood your gazebo out? Cause that's all that's gonna happen with that pile the way it is. So thankfully it didn't flood it too much, but it has flooded the grassy area inside the fence and the kids use that. And they need that, they're required to go outside. So,
We'll speak with them. They ain't done out there anyways, cause they're supposed to smooth it off there.
right, yeah.
We'll see what they can
You know,
regrade.
they know how to
Yeah.
manipulate dirt and make it flow,
Yeah.
whatever. So if we can do that,
Okay.
please.
Yep,
Thank you.
that's it.
For that, yeah.
Okay, that puts us down to new business. Puts us back on the CMS server.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the, estimate from CMS for the new service, which can be ARPA funds.
It can be
Which
which
can
one.
be.
If the board votes so be
Okay.
it. We're doing both Stanton Auto Glass and Wilson's under ARPA, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have a second on that one?
I'll second that.
Motion by Patty, second by Alicia. I don't know, what was it, 9,000? Approximately 9,000 for the CMS server. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Now we got a resolution for the goose roundup.
So they're gonna wanna do it this year, huh?
Well, no, they're not gonna do it. They're still not gonna be able to do it, but this is for Duck Lake.
Oh, okay,
This is
sorry.
for, this is, because we have one for Crystal, and this one is for any lake in Crystal Township that they can apply for Canadian Goose Roundup permit.
And it also covers their nest destruction part of
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Okay,
Thanks, yeah.
gotcha.
So I would make a motion that we approve this Canadian geese, to remove the roundup of the Canadian geese on any lake within Crystal Township.
Okay, I'll second that.
Motion by Patty, second by Nancy. Accept the resolution, Goose Roundup, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. That moves us down to Crystal Box Office Historical Designation. They're applying for a
Historical designation.
historical designation, and they asked the DDA, and he's asked our township to write a letter for them. And I think Patty's about got it done, I think, don't
Okay.
No.
you? No?
We started, if anybody else wants to write it, they're welcome to.
But, y'all in favor of it?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Motion by Nancy, second by me to do the Crystal Box historical designation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Road contracts, take them home and study them, you think, or?
Well, and I want to clarify, because Mark was in the other day, so gravel, any gravel, which would be contract what, number 2, number 3, I got number 5, but that's not right, it's not,
He said, they're from the guy that's got our township. We've made it from the south end of the township all the way up to the north of gravel. So they're ready to start south, going north. But he thinks it's time, straight toe, what's your road?
Straight toe?
Straight toe, he thinks they should seal it.
Yeah.
And they would use some special, it ain't the regular seal because of the traffic people walking on it. It's gonna be a more finer seal.
Oh, they got high dollar stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Here we got low dollar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We got low dollar, that stuff is nasty on your feet.
Yeah. So that's one of the, that's probably the most expensive one.
that was not in here, that's county, that's a county road. That's county.
No,
No,
not,
it's in
Girl, I don't, straight toe isn't on here.
number 6. Number 6.
Oh, I got Pine Grove, I wrote Pine Grove,
Flip it over.
sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Pine Grove and.
That's
Oh,
why I looked
right
at that, and I
there.
looked at that, and I looked
well,
at
I
that.
guess it ain't the
but-
most, it's only 22,000.
But what I was saying is so number 2 and number 3 is buy a mile, get a mile. So if we
Oh,
did
okay.
Beardsley, they would pay for Blackmare. So I think that's kind of,
Okay.
you know, kind of
Buy one, get one.
And then
Okay.
chip seal or asphalt, they will
Oh,
give you $20,000 off. So that's Holland Lake, so that's number 5, so instead of that being 110, it'd be 90. But that uses most of our budget.
Yeah.
On the road, I think we maybe should have it, that's coming. Bollinger Road from Sydney to Duck Lake, I don't think we've ever.
It's never been done, Kurt.
I was gonna say,
No. It's never been done. I've lived there for 43 years.
I just noticed that, I come down that the other day, and that was pretty bad, and I got thinking, I don't think they missed that, we never.
Well, they went south, but they never went north. As far as I'm concerned, they can put some extra gravel down there, because cars go fast enough now, but no, it's never been
Never
gravel.
been. I'll have Mark give us a quote on that.
Oh, so we don't have that.
No, I don't know why we missed, and then I come up around that way the other day, and I said, this road ain't never been done.
Yeah.
But I guess between now and the next board meeting, if you're bored,
You don't care if we go look at it,
we'll
do you?
take 6 back and we'll look at it.
All right, sounds good.
No,
Since I find a dozen.
don't do that.
I'd have to find a dozen.
Alicia will be the deputy driver.
There you go. I don't think so.
I apologize.
Oh, whoops.
Put the kitchen
Obviously
drain
we're
up,
joking.
I didn't realize.
throwback to our young days.
Okay, yeah, we already did E.
I'm sorry. I didn't ask.
We need some new cemetery flags.
So we usually get them from the American Legion, and the estimate for 14 3x5 flags, 4x6 flags for the cemeteries and the fire barn, 2 gross of sticks flags, and 8 6-inch or 6-foot fiberglass poles. Mitch said we need some new poles for Main Street, so that's a total of $803.74. I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the flags from the American Legion.
I would second that.
Motion by Patty, seconded by Nancy to purchase the flags for $803.47. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
And then my notary expires this year, April, and I did all the paperwork and I got approved to continue it. But I need to purchase a new embosser and a new stamp. And I've been looking around, and I guess I'm just asking the board if I can purchase up to $100. It shouldn't be that much. The one I've got right now, or found, is $93, but I'm looking to find it cheaper. So I'm asking if the board would approve me purchasing a notary stamp, embosser, and a free ink stamp for under $100.
I would make a motion that Pat can
I'll
do that.
second that motion.
Motion by Nancy, second by Elise to let Pat purchase the embosser and a stamp. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
I meant to say aye, I'm sorry, I didn't speak at that time.
That moves us down to H, debit and credit cards.
Okay, I did hand you out just an overview of a Huntington commercial card. I actually thought they would be the best one to go with, because at this point in time, that's where our major checking account is. I have a lot of background information on what we will need to do to be able to get them to work the way that we're supposed to, according to our checks and balances and our internal controls, and that was not a problem. Basically, MTA says, don't do a debit, get a credit card. And while I'm on that, wasn't there some personal credit cards had to be used to fix fire trucks? Yes, there was in December when we paid them. So basically, the fire department should be able to have a credit card. They only get paid once a year. So they're only gonna get a reimbursement in December, and what if they paid to fix that fire truck?
I think
Yeah,
we
in
always
June.
just pay the bill, I think like Jerry, they go out
There
to
was a
Jerry
reimbursement
Downs.
on there, 'cause I remember you asking them about it. And it was about repairs.
If Mike comes in July and presents a bill that he paid on his credit card or something, then I pay it like that.
But it would come out
His
of.
credit card, right?
Yeah.
You say his credit card?
His credit card.
So that's a
They should
personal
not
credit
have-
card,
it's
and
a
it should
personal
not be
credit card.
happening.
The fire department should be able to have.
A couple years ago, Mike asked for a credit card and we denied him access to get a credit card.
Well, I don't think it should be denied. It's a fire truck.
They should have their own credit card.
Yeah, so, Pat, if you wanna well, first of all, we need a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we get a credit card for the township and for the fire department.
Using,
Huntington Bank's commercial card, unless you want me to research further.
I'm not gonna vote on this, cause that's my employer.
Second that.
I
Motion by
understand.
Nancy, second by Patty to get a credit card through Huntington Bank for the fire department and the township. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried with Alicia's name.
Yeah.
That puts us, I was given a copy of the beach lease. And
Yes.
it is a yearly thing, and since we have now created our own beach, I did not wanna miss the jump rope to cessate this lease.
What's the terms of the lease? I'm sorry.
Term, this lease shall be for 1 year, commencing at the end of the initial lease, shall be executed below joint signing of this lease, and will continue to automatically renew in 1-year increments unless or until either party notifies the other party of their desire and intent not to renew the lease for the following 1-year term. And here's where it gets a little weird. The lease was entered into on July 21st, 2020, but there was a month or two that it was for free and didn't really start, so it actually started in August. So if we go July and 30 months before is June, let's get that in our jump rope, because $800 a month that stays is better than $800 a month that goes.
So you don't think the lease is beneficial to the community?
We'll have our own beach.
Yeah.
Parking. The lease is for the park, in my opinion, the lease is for the parking, not for the beach.
I understood it was the beach, and I come from South Haven, and I know everybody here thinks parking's a big deal, but it really isn't here. Like, there's street parking all over the place.
We have parking at the community center. There's areas we could make parking, but, you know, pretty much we're giving away free money. And people will find a place to park. If the owner doesn't want them there, the owner needs to police it himself.
Well, I'm sure it'll be completely blocked off if the lease expires. I just think it's unfortunate. I feel the parking is very beneficial for the community, and I guess especially this year going with the new park renovations, we really don't know what kind of influx we're gonna get and what kind of, what we're gonna need. So I guess I
If you
would
would renegotiate that lease to end Labor Day, I might consider that. But from Labor Day to Memorial Day, I don't wanna pay for bar parking.
And
That's
have
what
it
we're
be
paying
just
for.
the park, yeah, or just the parking area, not the beach. Like, this needs a renegotiation. Because we're spending this much money on putting a beach in, we
And
don't
I'm
need
not
another
willing
beach.
for the
yeah,
amount
like
we
I said,
pay
I
to go
don't ever look at
higher.
it as really as the beach. I look at it as a benefit of the parking.
So who takes care of the parking? The parking lot itself, I'm sorry. I
We-
pulled in there the other day and I was like, oh my.
It don't, we have, right, coming off the road, we have dumped a load of gravel there. But it needs another.
There was some pretty good, I wouldn't take it, I mean, I have a
Right,
little.
you have a little car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put our garbage cans down there and clean up the garbage. We maintain it, I guess.
I think we should either renegotiate for at least a year.
Not a year.
I mean,
I disagree.
this summer with you.
Ends
Because
Labor Day.
until we know, right, swimming season, until we know what kind of beach we're gonna have down here in front of this park for the first year for swimmers.
Whatever beach
Yep.
we've got right now.
I mean,
It's the beach is
we
not gonna
spent
change.
No, but that's around.
$700,000 on that
The
beach,
offshore
so.
obstacles you have. The rocks. People are not
That's
gonna-
another story. That's another story. I'm sorry, Stan, you are correct 100% because I've spent a lot of time out there. However, let's get back to,
I make a motion that we, try to renegotiate with him on a price for him till up to Labor Day.
I'm not willing to go any higher than we are right now in price per month.
Well, I'd say, well, oh yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't either. But we don't wanna go all year.
I don't
Just
want
open
it
negotiations.
for the time, not for the price. It's still at $800, quits Labor Day.
You'd in favor of that.
I
So
would
you're saying May to September.
Well, this is whatever this is. Have we decided what month is it end
Well,
in June?
the actual date that is written in on here is July 21, 2020.
So it would end then.
You might have, you're gonna have to prorate a few days, let's say, okay? If
But
it's gonna start-
would we have to terminate this lease and enter into a new lease?
If
Yes.
this lease is going to be gone when it ends. If you want, if you
Well,
feel
we
we
need
need
to know-
more, if
We
you,
need to notify him that we're going to.
correct,
We're gonna
if you want to make a motion to continue it, like we have been said, until Labor Day, at the $800 a month with a
As long
prorate
as
either
he's
way.
happy with 800 a month, that lease will work and we're just time we're done at the end of our.
No, because this renews automatically for a year, so no.
So
Don't
you're
say we
saying
can
terminate
do
this
anytime.
contract, renegotiate for
I think
lower.
we can do that.
Yes.
Don't say we can get out of it anytime.
Termination clause.
Right, but, well, yes and no, there's a clause in there. I'll put with you read the rest of it.
Have a great night.
So I have to look at it.
Okay, well, we'll see what he says and we'll discuss it
So are we
next.
notifying him that we're terminating this lease? Is that the motion? motion for that?
No. We
No,
still discussing
So there's no motion.
whether we're trying to make
Trying
one.
to get one.
Renegotiate. You're not gonna sign the current one, you're gonna renegotiate.
oh, we don't sign this one every year anyway.
It
Because you said automatically renews, and that's why I want him notified that this we're
This
not gonna
summer will
renew.
be it.
This
So
one-
your
So
motion
I
is-
move that we notify Garrett Bacher that we are terminating the current lease and are open to negotiating this summer season of 2024.
There you go.
It's still 800 a month. With, you're gonna have a prorate either way.
Well, that,
That's the
I mean,
renegotiation.
that's the negotiation part of it, is trying to.
No, the prorating is our dates. One ends on the 21st, and we're gonna wanna end it on Labor Day, which is approximately the 6th. Okay?
So Sarah's motion to notify Garrett that we're gonna terminate the current lease and open up a new one for renegotiation.
Yes.
If he's willing.
Is there a second?
But it would, that one would end Labor Day. Yeah, second it.
Motion by Sarah to do away with this lease and negotiate with Garrett on a new one. Seconded by Nancy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Me. Opposed?
motion carried. Okay, that moves us down to a log book for the roof.
Okay, so the last time we had the big kerfluffle about our roof and Garland came back and did our roof, in our warranty of the roof, like in one of the first paragraphs was, do you have a logbook? Every time someone steps on it, every time someone fixes it.
And for cleaning it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I am, taking liberties with the fact, Kurt, that you are here and you do DPW and building stuff, so are you doing that as a non-statutory duty?
They go up there, I don't know if they're keeping track of it, making sure the drains are staying clean and.
Right, so every time they go up there, it should be logged down, but you are the guy who's doing that as your non-statutory duty as building administrator,
Or just
right?
have them, give them both.
Get a notebook.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be anything.
That's our warranty, that's our warranty good, yeah.
So we need to start.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime they can remember in the past, they've been there, should be it.
Yes.
This is another thing, it should, I think it needs to go to DDA, but a guy, Brian Phelan, called me a couple of weeks ago. He's in the area doing work. He wants to make our decorative sidewalk, bring it back up to like, it looks like new. And there was some repair of some cracks. But for him to power wash and apply anti-graving agent, apply 2 coats of sealer to decorated concrete. First coat 1 day, second coat 24 hours after first coat. Barricade all the work areas, repair any cracked concrete the city needs, but he wants $43,000.
That's a lot. I'm sorry.
Our guys can use a power
I think
washer.
the DDA needs this.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I got a
What is he
power washer
doing?
too.
Cleaning up the decorative
He
sidewalks.
probably, I think it repaint or something to make it shiny.
This is
seal it.
camp decorative sidewalks.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
for
The
the down
seal
here.
kind of
Main
warned you
Street,
guys.
down those,
Yeah.
For $42,000.
Wow.
Well, would you like,
We're thinking about the labor.
or shiny concrete?
The material's only like 11,000, almost 12,000, but labor is
That's
about 32,000.
Yeah.
What, just on the one block?
No, I'll be going down that way too where the decorated, all the decorated, whatever's decorated.
There's not much.
No.
There's some on the, north side of Lake Street, is it? Down to the bait shop?
I don't think there's no, oh, maybe coming from the gas station.
Yeah.
Maybe there's.
Yeah, you take that and give that to your dad.
You know what? I like that. I like that.
Okay,
We got a local guy that does stuff with that.
now, that'll put us down to public comment. Kim?
I just have a question about the 2024 road. Didn't you say, are they still gonna do Peterman this year?
Wasn't on there, was it?
You said a couple months ago that they were gonna redo Peterman because it is crumbling.
Or at least do something
That's
that.
what you had said.
Let that come up now.
Because you said that. When you said they were gonna do straight toe, and you said they were also gonna do Peterman.
Okay.
That's not on here.
It's not a long ago.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. It's bad. Trust me, it's bad. I mean, it's literally crumbling.
Peterman, okay.
Yeah.
Roger,
Okay, no, I have to clock me at 3 minutes on this one.
okay, you're on the clock.
Okay, we started out our discussion with Sarah right at first, right? How we can't fight with each other. We left the meeting last month. I talked to 2 elderly ladies out here about the trash compactors first. They were wondering about putting shredded paper in their bags and that, because Carson put up a sign and said, you cannot do that. I bet you we stood there 10, 15 minutes. I go to my vehicle, there's Sarah and her husband jumps my bones about this rental project that Kurt's in on. Well, she has no problem. You guys didn't do nothing, I didn't have it on your camera, but I figured that's a little bit of harassment on a board member, jumping me up, going and leaving the building. Laugh all you want.
Dude, you open your mouth first, give me a break.
Your mouth is always open.
Heard it.
Speak of the devil.
A comment was made on
Good God.
Yeah,
They
then,
and they
I still
responded.
got it, floor girl, just hold on. Then, you look on the Michigan Right to Farm Act, 93, harassing farmers. Go to the Federal Farm Act about harassing farmers and the way they produce. Check into that, Sarah. And I did not like that appreciation of you and her husband jumping me out in the parking lot on the way out.
Oh my
I should've went to the cops, I call that harassment.
Wow.
Harassment from a board member, you guys should discuss that on her little meetings. And the way she started the program out. Okay, it's your turn.
Sarah?
Hi, okay, this whole thing is crazy, this whole farmland thing. And I have to say, sir, I was standing right outside with Sarah and John, and you approached them first. You made some kind of
I
a
walked
comment.
past them.
No, you made a comment. Why would they respond unless you made a comment? That's not their character to do that.
Bull.
So I'm just saying, I was a witness to that, and I know that you seem to have issues with trustee Daly, okay? But I'm wondering, because of the farmland stuff, I'm wondering if you would have those same issues if Kurt was not your friend and your neighbor.
I wouldn't have them issues if we had township
Point of
board
order,
meetings out
point
to
of
the.
order, point of order. She's speaking and you're interrupting.
Okay.
Stop.
I'm
I'm
point
done.
of order, she's not done.
I wasn't done. No, I think this whole thing is crazy, and just from a participant information thing here, this doesn't make any sense. Kurt says the land is junk, okay?
It is junk.
And he's wrecking his vehicles on it. Kurt, I don't understand, why would you even bother to farm it if you're just losing money? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I truly, I don't get it. Cause that's all I've heard is it's junk. I've heard several people say that land is crap. Why would you farm a crap land and ruin your vehicles? Don't even try to explain it to me, I'm not a farmer. I'm just saying, just from a perspective of somebody who's listened to this stuff all along, I don't get it.
John?
At the end of the last meeting, Public Ordinance of 1978 and trash and debris was referenced directly at Sarah. And she was told to expect a visit from the sheriff.
I didn't say no sheriff.
Yes, you did. It's on tape, bud.
Oh, you're illegally taping
Point of
now.
order.
It's right there. I've reviewed it twice. That is a threat.
Mm-mm. You didn't tell me you were taping me.
Need to know.
You done, John? Bruce?
Getting back to the road,
There we go. Thank you.
there on Bowling Road where I live, I am the only one on there, the road does get quite a bit of traffic, I told you, Kurt. If you do go to the road commission, boy, I don't wanna see that road all of a sudden come in and take and wipe out all the trees off one side and come in with a hydro hoe and dig a big ditch. They didn't do that on Sloan Road when they gravelled that. And that's why in the past, I went to Chris when he was a supervisor, and then I went, it's like, I'm not asking to take and have a whole new road with ditches and everything. Just throw me some gravel and maintain it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I say, I can I've lived with it for 40 years, you know?
Yeah.
If it gets bad enough, I say, hey, I need some gravel down here,
Alright.
and I'll smooth it out. But man, I'd hate to see, and if anybody knows the road that we're talking about, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful road.
It
Not
is.
just
It
because
is.
I live on it, but it's, you don't find roads like that.
No.
And if you let them go in there and think, hey, we got dig ditches, it ain't gonna be like that anymore.
No. No.
And another thing, that ground, that whole half mile, it's sand. I mean, the water, it goes away. I mean, it goes away quite quick. So, yeah, I'm happy with some gravel once in a while. You don't have to take and re-gravel the whole thing.
Yep.
Bollinger.
Dan?
There's a couple potholes just south of his house that are, it
Oh,
always
yeah.
gets wet there. That's where it needs the gravel. The rest of the road's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the pothole just south of his property where he lives there, on Bollinger.
Probably come to my driveway and get.
It's probably the best section of Bollinger all the way back to the township.
Yes, Rich Savavich, I'm the president of Lions Club, and you were talking about some of the street light that you were thinking about adding more in. We're working on the current decorations that we have, and we're gonna try to refurbish most of what we have. The one thing that we've found out is with those streetscape lights, that pole basically is plastic. It has a pipe down through the center of it. Over the years, as we've put these decorations up there, the wind swings them and they start damaging the plastic. So we've got quite a few of those decorations that we think we would like to put up for sale and see if people around the community would like to buy one and you know, put them up their house. And that will help us redo the ornaments that we've considered as good. A few of them we're gonna tear right down, and we're gonna completely rebuild them, but we're gonna hopefully have that done by the end of the year. Now, on the streetscapes, our plan is to take garland, and we'll have lit garland. We'll start at the bottom and wrap it to the top, and then we'll either use the little, smaller decorations that we have, that we use going down the hill. And if we don't have enough, we're gonna put bows, a big red bow, just below the light. So if you get an idea and you think you'll be done with that this year, and we're getting ready to purchase material.
No, I think it's great to let us know about that. We're still debating, and we have to have a meeting officially approved that we would maybe go down this. We talked about the cost, around 2,000 a piece, plus kind of what the wiring would require. So we're still doing our research, but we'll definitely let you know if we come up with a resolution and decide to spend the money, how many we're gonna put in, so you can plan ahead.
Okay.
So I can catch your, I think I know who you are, I think I've met you before, but I can catch your information so that we can keep you kind of in the loop.
Sure.
Barb?
I'm happy to see that we're going to have a grant policy. My question is does that, in the policy, does it appoint the whole board as the point person for the grant? Or are you appointing someone to do the grant? And the reason that brings me up to this is I did attend the DDA meeting, and Amy, you asked who's the point person for the park project? And it's always no one answers. And I think we need to have that for that much money that we have been spending, you need a point person that's gonna be holding the information, holding the checkbook, and reporting at each meeting. Because that's lots of money. And some of it's township money, it's ARPA money, you know, grant money. We can't have someone that's gonna have control of the money. Because, you know, if you don't have control of the money, you don't know what's happening.
Well, all the board, Barbara, and I know I shouldn't be doing this, all the board has control of that money because we have to agree to spend it.
Okay.
To pay the bills. But yes, there's usually one point person, and what we're asking in that policy is for whoever the point person is to communicate with the entire board.
That would be great.
And that's
I just
in that
don't feel
paperwork.
comfortable. I mean, it's a beautiful park, it's a beautiful project, or it just feels loosey-goosey, like, who's on first?
We're trying to tighten it up.
So, and then the next thing is that there's an article in today's newspaper that talks about how much a bale of hay costs. And that's in there because of an auction company has that. So if, I'm just thinking, is my grandmother used to lease out property around here in Gratiot County. If you're farming it, what are you doing? You're gathering the bales of hay and throwing them away, or you're gathering the bales of hay and feeding your animals? So that, I think I understand why they want to have a disclosure, because, you know, that's a lot of money, and you do have cows, so you're not just throwing the hay away. Am I correct?
I'm not supposed to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that I think that's a question that's in the back of the mind from the people that are hearing what's going on. You get it at a price, they should go at a certain price, and how much are your cows benefiting?
Bruce?
Why is it the township irrigates out there where I know other municipalities take and irrigate? I think the college does what little sewer district they have over there, what sewer. But the rest of these, the way I understand, is discharged into a drainage ditch. I think Carson goes right into the fish creek.
Yeah.
And that water that comes out of there is more or less supposed to be clean and clean water. I mean, if you want to do away with the irrigation, couldn't you run a line and go right to the west and dump it into that ditch?
The way this, my understanding is the way this was designed is for an irrigation system.
It is designed that way, but is there a possibility you could take and just run a pipe right out, just like all these other sewer districts do?
Sewer systems have levels of removal of sewage. A irrigation system is I think a 2-level. Ones that go right into the creek are actually a 3. There's 3 settlements, and then there's aeration. There's no aeration pumps up in ours. So the aeration and the remainder of the sewage goes out in irrigation. So it's a 2-step process rather than a 3-step. It's cheaper to run than a 3-step. 3-step, you can dump right into the creek. They do it at Muskegon wastewater, the whole county of Muskegon.
The whole system would have to be.
Yeah, my wife worked for the wastewater in Muskegon when she got out of college. So they're a 3-step system. This is a 2-step system. So the reason is you have to irrigate it. The ground does the final filtration. That's why you do it.
And that's why they can't feed that to
Right,
certain.
right. It's supposed to be rotated in the corn every so often, isn't that correct?
Yep.
The other question is out there, the woodlot, what's going on out there? You gonna eliminate that altogether, or?
He just was cleaning up the dead trees.
Oh, mercy, Kurt.
Well, there was stumps that he took out.
The way it looks like to me, it's only gonna be a year or two, and there ain't gonna be woods there, because they went in the inside, it looks like, and bulldozed and cut trees and.
At one time, consumers told him they were gonna move the power lines by the road, and that's when he was needing to get more ground to put it on, so they keep their water samples where they're legal. And he was thinking he could add on to that last pivot, and if they ended up doing away with that woods down the road, that they could make a more of a swing.
Right, I see that, I thought, well, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but I didn't,
Eliminate the woods and add on to the.
Pivot, yeah.
The woods where the leaf piles are?
No.
Is it,
Just off Sydney Road,
it's the
on
one,
this
the
side.
little one on the right-hand
Oh,
side?
yeah.
of
A
the
little
house?
frontage before you get the yard
Yeah,
waste.
okay, that's our property, right?
Yeah.
Where's the wood gonna disappear to?
I don't know, right now there ain't, they just, when they handed out, they bulldozed some stumps and stuff up.
I know, I've seen loads of wood going out
Did
there.
you?
On the agenda, it said, about the park project, it says budget amendments.
Pat did that.
Yeah.
They just moved
You're
money.
what amendments are there?
They move money from one account to the other to pay the,
I thought there were amendments in what the contractor was asking for the work he did.
No, but you know, I do have a question on that, Bill, he had an addition on there, what was the additions for?
Or was that
Extra
settled?
4,000 yards
Yeah.
dirt, is that what it was?
Yeah.
There was 4,000 more yards of dirt than anticipated.
Yeah, but would you
Wolver-
give him back for not trucking it 2 miles away?
Wolverine figured 10,000 yards. they figured 12, they bid on 12,000,
Oh, and they got.
and they got 16.
Excellent.
And he said, cause I thought they just come across the road, dumped it, but he said the man hours, they said they could've trucked it cheaper to go out there if they could've, for what it cost them to run that big tractor and that pan mover. So he figured it out.
Okay, so we kinda went, you know, we helped, they helped.
Right.
Back and forth. I got that.
So it's a wash and there's no change.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Anybody else?
I have a question. The policies that you, I guess you approved all the policies today. You have 4 policies already posted on your, webpage. Are you gonna post all the policies on the webpage that you have for, so we could all read them and understand them, what they're
We
all
only
about?
passed 2 of them, and they,
Well,
the middle 2.
put those 2 on plus whatever, because you only have 4 on your website right now, and I don't know how many policy letters you already have, you know, in your inventory.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to see the ordinances, the township ordinances also posted to the webpage, so that people that are looking at splitting lots or this or that can go in and do their own research without having to call and disturb people here.
That's the thing I forgot, thank you, Bonnie, was talking to you guys to say, can I scan the ordinances and get them on the website?
There's 18 of them? How many?
I think there might be a few more than that.
20.
But it would be handy for the general public.
Yep, okay.
I will, yes.
Anybody else?
Just really quick, yeah, no, I know that Sarah's participating, thankfully, it was a good thing, on the, Montcalm County, Community Advancement Committee, so, I understand your first meeting's in April, and then I would, ask that you bring any insights that you have from those meetings, I'm sure you will, to the community here, because I understand that that's the replacement for the planning committee, right?
Yes.
And so that'll help us too when we start thinking about a park and rec plan, or if we wanna do a master plan for our township. So that's just, I just wanted to bring that up.
For sure will do.
Anybody else?
Motion to dismiss.
Motion by Nancy,
I'll second.
second by Patty, adjourn at
Oh, where they're posted.
8:35, 37, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Oh, you got it,
Oh!